Hello there, your second favorite Gotwick player here, reminding you that game balancing is only a suggestion. Today I will go over the new female commander Cassana. No, I don't have the money to spend on this girl despite her personality staring back telling me to wail for her. I'll be explaining her kit through how it is written, and keep in mind there may be some mistranslations. If something appears wrong, I'm not sorry. Go talk to some fatty whale and get a reply in few business days from one of their henchmen. I will go through the most important details of this commander first. You may think, oh wow, it's not a Game of Thrones character that I've ever seen, but damn, she is very attractive, right? Until you learn it's a him. Cassana, much like Sarah and Vorian before her, is a counter-damage increase commander. Being very premium already, her cost will exceed your alliance's budget. She will provide your army with cavalry health and total attack. But the main thing she provides is the cavalry V-Speen counter bonus, up to 24% at max awakening level, which means from the base rate of 50% your cavalry jump up to 74% total, which is a 48% boost to your damage against them already. Crazy to say it, but this already makes up most of the value from the commander. Honestly, she could have had Salma's skill copied and pasted on her kit, and it still would have been worth it. Yeah, she replaces Salma in top female accounts, much like Sarah and Vorian did to Drake and Rhea. Her awakening skill reads a little funky, but at the very least it makes sense, unlike Sarah's skill. Again, I ain't gonna be getting her anyway, so we're reading it off how the description explains her skill. Any bugs or other details will be shared around when reports of her are released. At the start of the battle, she will pray for 2 seconds. After praying, she reduces all commander active cooldowns by 2 seconds and release all commander skills, their damage being 200% coefficient and reducing by 50% for every additional active trigger, up to 4 with the current limit from Layla and her weapon. This is a massive jump from Salma and her max level weapon, which boosts all commander first actives by 150%, with the damage drop-off considered. She will deal 200%, then second active being 150%, then 100 to lastly 50%, which comparing the best case of RNG for commander actives. A total of 20 actives from all 5 commanders, which will from Salma the first lot dealing plus 50%, and the rest at 100% being total of 22 50% coefficient. Whereas with Cassana damage drop-off, she'd deal 1000% on first, 750% on second, 500 on third, and 250 on last, being a total of 2500%. But this is extremely unlikely, as it'll be each commander with an 8% chance to trigger up to 4 times anyways. Don't take this as the absolute fact. More than likely commanders will do 2 to 3 active skills. And consider that Cersei has her wildfire attack, which hits all enemies triggering off active skills, and Dany has her dragon attacks, which can hit up to 2 frontline enemies, which these will become more important later. Like mentioned, the 2 to 3 means all commanders deal anywhere from 1750% to 2250% damage, whereas Salma with the same circumstance will deal from 1250% to 1750% damage. The damage bonus is already massive in compared to Salma, but maybe the second part of her awakening skill will be the most impactful. This being her ability to reduce all allied female active cooldowns by 2 seconds. Dany was the only commander up until now which had the ability to reduce her active skill timing, unless you consider awakening a commander from base level to 4-star, reducing their active cooldowns. This makes you female commanders trigger their active skills at 3 seconds when the initial commander attacks after Cassana finishes praying, 11 seconds, 19 seconds, 27, and lasting 35 seconds into the battle. Which means all your commanders get an extra commander active attack in the battle, and Dany gets the most benefit as her dragon will attack at 3 seconds. 8, 13, 18, 23, 28, 33, and finally at 38 seconds into the battle. That's 8 triggers of her attack. And remember, these can multi-proc with Layla, and at max level, disarm the target's hit for 7 seconds. Dany's actives also stack towards Sanel's damage boost, meaning you have more opportunity between your other female commander active skill wave attacks to stack Sanel's buff. Being firstly at 8 seconds for Dany before the commander attack wave at 11 seconds, and 2 more opportunities at 13 and 18 seconds before the 19-second commander active wave. At this point of the battle with Sanel, it is more than likely to have with her max weapon boosting by 100%, easy 2 stacks of this, which will boost your commander damage for the mid-battle active skill damage by 200%. And it wouldn't be unrealistic by this point to have 30 actives triggered boosting the damage up to 300%, and if not by the next commander wave at 27 seconds, nearly guaranteed to have this. This caps out at 400%, which you'd have to be unlucky with additional active triggers from Layla to not have this bonus by the last commander active wave at 35 seconds into the battle. But it is more likely to get this buff stacked before the 27-second active wave, giving you 2 commander active wave attacks at 400% damage and Dani with 3 attacks at 400% bonus damage, not considering additional active. You only need your commanders to trigger their actives on average 1.9 times up to this point, with is pretty much certain with max Layla weapon. In order to get this buff sooner at the 19-second mark, you would need all 12 of your female active skills to trigger at 3.3 average, which is fairly unrealistic, but I guess not impossible. And with Dani triggering her disarm so much, there will be periods of time you could have multiple lines disarmed by her, which is going to be crucial against enemy infantry lines with Vorian, who has been dominating currently in the meta. Compare this to with Sama, how the female lineup triggers, being at 1 second, 11 seconds, 21, and lastly at 31 seconds with Dani triggering at 1 second, 8 seconds, 15, 22, 29, and lastly at 36 seconds into the battle, which is 6 triggers of her skill. The 2-second stall at the start of the battle works to simply have Dani not go on steroids in you battle, as if not she'd trigger up to 9 times in the battle. So do you think this would be enough to counteract the extremely strong top infantry bleed lineup with Vorian? Will the higher burst damage and more active waves from the commanders be enough to push cavalry up into the most powerful top lineup in the game? We will just have to wait and see. As mentioned, her RTS video will be coming out soon. Go watch that for full details on her impact in those game modes, and thanks for watching.